All right, welcome to the SnydeReport. I am your host, Gary Snyder. With me today is Jack Chance. He is running for, is it state rep?
Yes, sir. State representative.
Thank God, because I got that wrong the other day, and man, it just went downhill from there. So what district are you running in?
District 30. Yes, sir. That's Kokomo, Greentown, and
Okay, Kokomo, Greentown, and that area. Now, where are you from?
I'm from Tipton, so just a little bit down the road from the district.
Okay. Yeah, we actually lived in Tipton for about 6 years.
Really?
So, yep. They used to have the eat here, get gas, Cheryl's.
Yeah,
right there on the highway.
I love that place. It was so cool looking.
Yeah, we lived just west of 31 on State Road 28, a little town called Gettingsville.
Okay, yeah.
So that was interesting. Now, did you have a chance to make it down to French Lick this weekend?
I did not. I really wanted to. It would have been my first year to go, but unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go down there.
It was my first year, so I was impressed. Got to meet a lot of Democrat stalwarts. My wife is in the audience, and she just coughed, so we just ran her off. But no, seeing Evan by again, Jess Mullion, Kit too, Aaron Town. I mean, it was a great time. Although I must admit, I got in trouble on the way down. We were heading down the highway, and we were behind a car. If you're how do I put this? If you're uncomfortable with male anatomy, you probably want to put your hands over your ears at this point, because we were traveling down the road and we were behind a beat up old car that had a bumper sticker on it that said, "I heart penis." And of course, when you see that, when you pass the car, you have to look. I mean, it's a given.
You must.
And my wife caught me looking, but then again, she was looking to catch me looking. So, I mean, it's, you see something like that, you have to look.
Every time. Every single time.
So every time. Yeah, we did look. Now, it was tended, to be honest, I was expecting a guy, because I don't know what reason, maybe because it was a beat up old, looked like muscle car type thing, but the windows were tinted and I could not tell who was driving.
Wow.
So, but just the fact that I looked, I don't know.
Yeah. But you have to.
So, Jack, you have to. I mean, and maybe we should take a poll, because I feel that most people, man or woman, would do the same thing. If you are passing a car that had
Absolutely.
that bumper sticker, you are looking. So,
most definitely.
Jack, we'll move on to more important things here, like your run for a state representative. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm from Tipton. I've been here in Kokomo for the last 6 years. I've built a career in affordable housing, and I'm now running kind of due to struggles that I saw while I was working in housing, specifically HUD. I've just seen where our local people are being failed. And so I decided it's time to step up.
Now, when you talk about your local people being failed, who is your opponent? Let me ask you this first. Do you have a primary opponent?
I do not. Currently unchallenged. Okay. Welcoming any challengers.
So if you do win the primary and you go on to fall 2026, who is the current state representative there?
Current is Speaker Pro Tempore Michael Karakoff.
I know Mike. See, I grew up in Kokomo.
Yeah.
So he would be your opponent. Mike used to be, at least from what I understood when I knew him a little bit, kind of a working class Republican, if that is such a thing, but he's just gone full MAGA since.
I would say that's
far
accurate.
off on that?
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're not far off on that at all.
What made you decide to run for state rep? I mean, out of all the things you said, what is the craziest thing I can do? Running for state rep was what you come up with.
Yeah, it kind of was. So we were really, my team and I were looking at what we were going to do as far as what change I could make. We first thought about running for a local city council, but when we looked at the district and realized that the district had been gerrymandered down to basically just Kokomo and Greentown, a few smaller other communities, not that they should be overlooked, but we realized if we're going to spend most of our time campaigning in Kokomo, we might as well get more bang for our buck and go for the most influential office where we can make the most impact.
Now, as you know, you've been out campaigning so far, I assume,
Yes,
knocking
sir.
on doors, talking to people. What are you hearing? What are people telling you as you knock on their door or shake their hand at the fair, the Greentown Fair? I know it's called the 4-H Fair, but we call it the Greentown Fair. We always did growing up. So,
Oh, yeah.
what are people telling you?
Well, a lot of people are really angry about utilities. When I started, I was expecting to hear more complaints about rents are high, and I hear that. But right now, the biggest complaint is utilities. Maybe second behind that would be education. Hoosiers are really concerned. I mean, desperately concerned about the rate hikes that we've seen this year. People are terrified about what's going to come next, and especially education with public schools, the quality dwindling because money's being siphoned away. That's what most Hoosiers are caring about. I was anticipating some resistance being a Democrat, but that's not what I'm seeing. I'm coming at, every discussion, whether it be with a GOP, MAGA, or another Democrat voter, really with the same, I'm here to fix issues. I'm not here to get involved in culture wars and societal problems, that are a flash pan issue. I'm here to fix the things that Democrats worked on for generations. That's why we were so incredibly strong. And I think it's time that we get back to those.
Jack, can you hold through a quick break?
Absolutely.
All right, you're listening to the Snide Report. I'm Gary Snyder. We'll be right back. All right, this is the part of the Snide Report where we thank our sponsors, and we have a growing list. So let's start with Robin Winston. Robin has been there when we first sent out our first email, 147 subscribers. We're now over 108,000. So thank you, Robin Winston, and helping us get the podcast going in the right direction. Next up is our good friend, former Congresswoman Jill Long Thompson. Her book, Across the Aisle, Why Bipartisanship Works for America. Get that anywhere you buy your books. Also, former two-term governor, two-term U.S. Senator Evan Bayh. Evan has been a sponsor of the newsletter, now jumps on board with the podcast. Congressman Andre Carson. Congressman Carson has been there from the start. We're glad to have him over here on the newsletter now. He needs your help to win re-election next year. So make sure you support Congressman Carson. Next up, State Representative Cherish Pryor. Cherish has been there from the start on the newsletter, joining us on the podcast now. So is State Senator Greg Taylor. I want to thank Senator Taylor for all of his support through the years. Next, we have a couple of new sponsors. First up is Indiana Citizen. You want to check out their new project, One Heartbeat Away. Do Christian nationalists have an agenda for Indiana? All you have to do is look at the lieutenant governorship and you can see right away that they do. So thank you, Indiana Citizen. Next up is Jump Laundry. You can visit them at jumplaundry.com. They have home pickup. They do your dry cleaning, wash and fold with, I might add, no judgments, and next day service. So if you're in a crunch for time, you don't want to do your own laundry, get a hold of Jump Laundry at jumplaundry.com or at 317-740-5011, and they will take care of all of your laundry needs. Welcome back to the Snide Report. You know how you know it's the Snide Report? Like right there. It says so. We got that fancy new sign. But anyway, we're speaking to Jack Chance. He's running for state representative, covers most of Kokomo, surrounding area a little bit. So Jack, when you just before we went to break, you kind of talked about what people are telling you. And, I was very heartened to hear you say that you want to focus on basically kitchen table issues and leave the woke warriors to fight amongst themselves. So
Yes.
when people sit down at those kitchen tables and they have to decide, am I buying food or am I going to pay the rent? Am I going to go get my prescriptions, or am I going to pay my electric bill? What do you hear from people when they are trying to make those decisions? Because they are. You talked about higher electric bills. I've seen mine. I mean, everyone
Yeah.
sees that. Grocery bills. Everyone's bought a pound of hamburger here of late, or some coffee. I mean, it goes on and on. So, what are people telling you about this? What do they want?
Well, really, everyone says the same thing. Someone needs to do something. And unfortunately, for a lot of them, that's where it stops. Everybody knows that there needs to be a change, but especially here in Indiana, we've been stuck in this political sound vacuum of a supermajority where most of the ideas that are put out are Republican ideas. And they're just not getting us anywhere. And unfortunately, that's left the voters saying, well, I know something needs to happen, but I just don't know what needs to happen.
Kokomo used to be, at least when I grew up there in the 70s, early 80s, was a very blue collar town, very union oriented town, very Democrat town. Last couple election cycles,
Yeah.
Republicans have won everything there. So how do you get those voters back?
Well, in the last election, in the city election, we actually won a Democrat on the city council. It was a major victory for the Howard County Democrat Party. And I think that established a lot of our legitimacy again, but also steering the conversation back to the issues that actually matter. Unfortunately, running as a Democrat tends to come with some baggage, especially when you're in a red district. So there's a lot of assumptions that people tend to make when I say, yes, I am running as a Democrat. But making sure that I'm not a Democrat that's just offering a slew of condemnations on social issues, but I'm offering real common sense solutions to real problems that every single Hoosier is facing. Because for the longest time, the GOP has been the party that's offered solutions to people, not the right ones and bad ideas, but they've been the party that's given out, this is how we're going to make things better for you. While the Democrats have just condemned our society and pushed for rights for minorities. And whereas everyone deserves dignity, rights for minorities don't pay the bills for Hoosiers. So I'm trying to steer us, myself as a campaign, but also the local party, get back to the things that the union voters actually care about. And that's higher pay, affordable health care, and lower utilities.
And ground beef not being $7 a pound.
Yeah, not being 7. Yeah, it's outrageous.
When you take a look at what's going on beyond kitchen table issues right now, we're looking at the possibility of a special session, which could cost upwards of $500,000, or excuse me, yeah, 500,000, forget what it is. It's a lot of money, in a time when the
Yeah, it
state
is.
is cutting people off Medicaid, they're cutting food stamps. You can go down the line on the things that, MAGA Republicans in Indiana are cutting, including Mike Karakoff completely losing accountability to the people that he supposedly represents. And they're going to do this special session to redraw congressional lines because 7-2 just isn't good enough for them. Your thoughts, because, as a state representative, if you're elected, it might be up to you and your new cohorts in the Indiana General Assembly to rein back some logic to the madness, if you will.
Absolutely. It's a circus downtown. When it comes to the redistricting, it's absolutely, if you have to, if the only way that you can win your election is by rigging who gets to vote for you, shame on you. But on the other hand, what I have seen with some Democrats is just a constant focus on the woe that's happening. Unfortunately, with a supermajority, this might be a lost battle right now. And so what I'm going to do, instead of just saying, woe is me, I might get pushed out of the district, this could happen, I'm just going to focus on winning the voters. I don't need more Democrat voters in my district to win. I just need more voters. And I'm really convinced that regardless of where we get put, if we just focus on winning the voters with actual solutions that really matter to them and stop just whining about what's happening with potential redistricting because we're not in power, we'll make a significant change, much more than we will just clamoring. We need to focus on winning the voters so that we can stop it from happening again.
I had Beto O'Rourke on a few weeks ago, and it even goes back to and a Hammond mayor Tom McDermott has been saying this for a while, along with myself. You don't need to be right, you need to win.
Absolutely.
And while a lot of these issues we are right on, it doesn't necessarily help you win. And just the fact that you are focusing on issues that are kitchen table issues, I think those will go a long way in helping you win.
Yes, sir. So far, it's helped a lot.
So as we wrap things up here, take a few moments and give us your pitch on why you should be the next state representative instead of Mike Karakoff.
Well, Gary, the reason that I should be the next state representative is because I've spent those number of years working in affordable housing. I successfully managed HUD housing for 3 years with 0 evictions and rents collected, with reducing the number of 911 calls for that community, proving that that just with a little bit of compassion, decency, and treating humans with dignity, we can really make a significant change. So I'm bringing that same style of leadership into the General Assembly. I see firsthand where oftentimes hurdles are placed in front of people. There's obstacles to help, and the powerful and well-connected set up the system to benefit them and to exclude and leave out everybody that actually needs help. So I'm stepping up to ensure that everyone that gets forgotten, the single mom who's renting out a HUD house, the grandma that's been priced out of everywhere and has to go to HUD housing, does not want to but has to. Those people, I'm running so that they are no longer set aside, but that they have a voice in the General Assembly. I'm running so that the families that are struggling with knowing whether or not the electric bill is going to be paid, I'm running to give them a voice, to help hold accountable the billionaires and our legislators that pad their pockets. So that's why I think I not deserve. That's why I'm going to work hard to earn the votes of every single person in this district and earn the right to be their next representative.
That's a great message. I mean, you keep on that and you'll go places, my son. Boy, it's been one of those days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, where can people find you, stalk you, give you money, all that good stuff?
Absolutely. So my website is abetterindiana.org. And you can also find me on Facebook at Jack Chance for a Better Indiana.
And you can click the banner on the SnydeReport newsletter, which now goes out to over 109,000 people daily. Just click on that banner. It'll take you right to Jack's website. Jack, thank you.
Thank you so much, Gary. It's been a pleasure.
I am Gary Snyder. He is not. He is Jack Chance. Take a chance on Jack. Have you thought of that before?
My first campaign slogan was going to be take a chance for a better Indiana.
I don't know why it's not, man. I am Gary Snyder. He is not. He is take a chance on Jack Chance. See, I did that. We are out. Thank you.